So Edul,
Yeah.
I was asking for this meeting today because, as you can imagine, after 2 months short, market is going
Yeah.
in a different direction it was supposed to go. There are a lot of questions and the strategies we have selected months ago are not working anymore, or at least they are not performing in the right way
Yeah.
with this market.
Yes.
Um, my first question to you is how Mudrex is trying to protect the investors.
Got it.
How
So
what are you doing? What we can do maybe also together to make sure that the kind of investor we want to join Mudrex should not be a financial analyst or a trader expert, to make different choices or different strategies and so on.
got it. So I think the first thing that we are trying to do right now in the short term is that, as always, what has happened and what we realize is that there are not all strategies that perform in all markets. Like ideally, if you just stay invested in an algo, it will make money over some months, it will lose money over some months, and over time it will give you like a steady return on an average, right? But it's difficult to see profits made by an algo going towards a loss in an ongoing month. So that's an, of course, like a first main problem. So to address that, what we are doing right now, and we are doing this today and tomorrow, and hopefully the outcome should be there by Monday, is that we are evaluating all our algos. And what we are trying to do is we are trying to identify certain algos that work better in choppy market conditions, in short trending market conditions, and in long trending market conditions. So we are trying to identify algos separately as that. And then what I want to do is I want to send out these suggestions to all our users, including you, saying that, okay, based on where you think things are going to move in the next few months, you can either continue where you are. If you're doing it for the longer run, it doesn't matter. If you want to optimize, you can pick from one of these three kind of sets, and that will help you better navigate the turmoil that we are in right now. So that is one part. That's what we are doing for the short run. For the long run, what we've realized, Vincenzo, is that we need to have some kind of an ability to dynamically create portfolios. So just like how you are creating a portfolio today and sharing it with the group, and then the members of the group continue to change and go in and out from those portfolios. What we are trying to do is we are trying to create some portfolios at our end. And then what you do is you just one click subscribe to a portfolio.
Mhm.
And we continue to change that portfolio at periodic intervals and try and make sure that the portfolio adheres to the basic logic with which we created the portfolio. So maybe just to give you an example, there might be a low risk, low return portfolio, a medium risk, medium return portfolio, a high risk, high return portfolio. And then we will also clarify and say that this works better in these conditions. And then as a user, you can just do one click, and then you don't need to continue to monitor and change the portfolio. We will do it at our end. And to do this, we are creating certain tools internally at Mudrex. And the long-term plan is to then push these tools out to everyone. So that, let's say, you as a creator can do this analysis by yourself and create your own portfolio, and and just go live on that portfolio by yourself. So that my guess is the best way to do it in the longer run. Um, Apart from that, what we've also realized, Vincenzo, is the issue is that people quite a few times, like the only number that they see on their screen is a returns number, right?
Mhm.
So a lot of times that returns number gets taken out of context if you don't also have a look at risk, or what's happening with the general underlying market. So what we also want to do is that we want to create a benchmark index, let's say a crypto 10, and that benchmark index we want to give free to anyone and everyone to invest in. All right. So there is no cost of doing that, but there is no special logic over there. It's a simple top 10 crypto tokens by market cap that we will rebalance once every month. All right. Once we have this benchmark crypto index, which will be similar to, let's say, an S&P 500, what we would want to do is we would want to compare every algo with this benchmark standard index and try and provide information as to how much better is the risk reward, which means how much better are the returns and how much higher or lower is the risk of the algo with respect to this benchmark index. So in that case, people can understand that, let's say if the index crashed 20%, which is actually what has happened this month and last month, but the algo only crashed 10%, the algo actually saved you money. Because the job of the algo is not only to give you higher returns, but also preserve those returns for the longer run, right? So that's the other change that we are also trying to do, so that there is better communication. Right now, you just see a returns number, and that returns number is only one side of the coin, right? It's never justified to only look at returns if you don't understand the risk that's being involved over there.
So if
Yeah, so these are like some of the that are there internally.
Okay, just to understand a little bit better the last one. This index is a virtual index, so it's something that you use as a reference
To compare things. Yes.
In the platform. Okay.
Yes. So we are launching this product next week, hopefully, and anyone and everyone will be able to invest in different indexes, and those indexes will be free for the first 3 months, and then a few of those indexes will be free for life. And like this crypto 10 is one such index that gives you the ability to just be long these top 10 crypto tokens. Effectively, what we are trying to do, Vincenzo, is we are trying to create a S&P 500 for the crypto universe. Because traditionally, in the traditional world, you benchmark mutual fund performance versus S&P 500 or a hedge fund performance versus S&P 500. There is today no benchmark in our platform, and that is a problem in itself.
Yeah, but then the investor can also invest in this index, or what?
Yes, the investor will be able to invest in the index for free. We won't charge anything for that.
And into the index, it's an index of the token, or it's an index of the algos?
It's an index of the tokens. So right now, this crypto 10 is just an index of the tokens. And that's a simple product in which you can invest. We will create a separate portfolio of algos that will be completely discretionary, which was like the first topic that I mentioned. A portfolio of algos that you can invest in separately, where we do some additional kind of sort of interesting hedging techniques by ourselves.
Okay, understood. What about the fee? What about the fee, for example? This is something we have discussed already in the chat, but still there are some strategies which are performing a little bit better than than the market when the market loses, and even if there is a consistent loss on a short, for example, then we are paying the fees. If you look at some strategy, they say they go long or short, and in short they do not make money.
It looks like the bar lights is available.
So in a short market, it is expected they do money, but this is not happening, or at least not for.
So I think, yeah. So I think that's the other problem, that right now the description is very vague, and I think we discussed this last time as well, Vincenzo, where we said that the description is just too vague and it actually doesn't add any value. So we are trying to change that description with FAQs and actual information. Some of that information will be put in by the creator. Some of the information we will automatically get from like how the strategy has performed in the past, and add it to the system.
When?
That is going live hopefully in 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks.
We just did a complete revamp of the UI, and this multi-asset feature we launched so that we can add flexibility to users and all of that, right? Hopefully now that all of these product changes are done, we will do these fine-tuning changes on the platform.
Yeah, because what I'm doing now, I mean, we had good platform, good portfolio in the past. Somehow they are still surviving because, for example, this is you see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Yeah, this is a fully Ethereum, and of course we know that Ethereum is losing less and gaining more. So somehow the gains are still here, even if in the last 2 months I lost 50% here. There are some
Hard.
other, yeah,
That's hard.
yeah. There are some
Same
portfolio.
has happened with me, to be honest, Vincenzo. I've kind of sort of, I think, lost 30% of my portfolio in the last 2 months.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but I believe we are all in the same boat. Huh?
Exactly.
I'm showing that not to complain or not to, let's say, to say that there is a responsibility here, but I'm showing this because what I'm obliged to do now is something like I have to review the portfolio to make something different because this is June and there is no way to think about a bunch to the previous high. If I look the last weeks, we are in a very tight range. And in the last 3 months, of course, the market has strongly rejected the high. So maybe we will stay for a life here in this channel. And it makes maybe the strategy that we have in the ends are not the best one anymore.
So
And
what exactly for exactly that point, I think this analysis that we are doing to help identify which are in doing good in bear market conditions should work.
yeah, what I have done, I went to the, I am in the platform.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know my point. The previous version of the platform was a little bit more transparent. You know that, and I will continue to tell you that.
Yeah.
There are some informations which are not there anymore. But however, what I'm doing is going to the return, aligned to the top side the last months.
Yeah.
Because this is I have 1 month and then 6 months, so it's either 1 or 6, and 6 is still too much a good run from the bull market. So I take this column here, and I'm trying to see the best strategies which have two references, two green references.
So what I would do is I would just do one more additional thing over here. Can you go back to that list?
Yeah.
And go to live since and select greater than 60 days so that there is at least 2 months of live data. Or you can also do greater than 90 days so that there is at least 3 months of live data and you can kind of sort of evaluate it better.
So these are the days the algos are live, are active, let's say. Okay.
Yeah, I've been in live markets.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm doing is trying to select the ones which have in a very short period of time in the past. So the full, I would say the full short market time. I'm trying to get the best performance, highlighting them. Yeah, I'm taking out, I don't know.
So Vincenzo, it will actually be great if once you are done with this analysis, it will be great if you can share this with the Discord community as well.
Yeah, this is something, I mean, it takes time, Edul. It takes effort at time. You know, I'm doing this because somehow I feel not the responsibility, because it's not my responsibility, but I feel the commitment on the Mudrex ambassador.
Thanks a lot, Vincenzo, for that.
And I see the people struggling. I see also my accounts, which is going down. So somehow, 1st of July, I need to start with a new portfolio, or at least to try to do something different. Yes. But the informations we have, you know, are not so many. I mean,
would you want to have like a 3-month option as well?
It would be a good point. 3 months inside.
Should we remove 1 day and say 1 week, 1 month, 3 month? Does 1 day help?
1 week I will keep it. 1 day.
What about 1 day?
1 day I really don't care. I mean, what is the meaning of 1 day 0, 1 day plus 12, or 1 day plus or minus 0.81? If I have these two, which are telling me that in June, despite the market was crashing, they will still making money, you know?
Yeah.
one
Got
day,
it.
last
So,
24 hours is not really, it's not
got
really
it.
a big topic. But what I need, what will be really good is when I switch on, because I'm doing now with this is just the first level. Then I need to drop to drill down each single one and making decisions, right? So I cannot spend the money on all of them.
Yeah.
And there are some non-congruent things. Six as a score, and this strategy in the short market, it's doing really well.
Yeah.
You see, the market is going down and the strategy, the algo is going up. They did under 10% as a short return. So
Yeah.
this is something which I will consider, but I don't know if this 37 drawdown here, minus 37, it is one trade, it's two trades, it's 10 trades. This is something really important.
Yeah. You can actually come down, scroll down, and go to all trades. And over here we show the drawdown as well. So, so it's most likely that one big trade and a few trades around it. Yeah, that particular, I think that particular period is the big setup. The problem is that right now we like these can be across multiple strategies as well. So it's not like a full portfolio, but that is the range, that is the time I think when this happened.
Yeah, but why it's 47 here
So
and here
because
we have 37?
yeah, so the max drawdown on top is at a algo level, and this particular drawdown is at a trade level. So there might be some strategies inside the algo that at one point had like a 46% drawdown
Okay.
because there are multiple strategies, right?
I mean, every trade starts with a drawdown. And this is not a big issue. But
So every trade will have a drawdown, like a
yeah,
drawdown.
exactly. This is not a big issue. My point is, if I know the strike of stops, I can understand. I can understand much more about how the strategy is working and what are the exit strategy that these guys have in the algo, because this can be a sum or not. We don't know that. Uh, but it will be really helpful also as benchmark. Today I make a decision. Today I say, okay, according to this, when I choose this strategy, I had only 3 consecutive stops. In a month or during the months, I can see how this is performing. And if suddenly it's going to 4 or 5 consecutive stops, I could decide to exit or to stop the algo and
Yeah.
looking for something different. Without this, the strike of loser and winners, it's you need to calculate, you need to make calculation, you need to make too much assumptions, too many assumptions, and this is not really helping. If you could put it back here somehow, the
I think I'll add that.
sorry.
We are adding that anyways. We are adding that anyways. I'll try and see if we can add that faster.
Okay.
We most likely want to get it done in the next week itself. So let's see. It's just that we are in the middle of these, doing these large releases right now that change the entire system significantly. That's why attention to these small things haven't gone, but we will get these done.
Okay, good. And I would say from my side, last point is during the last days we had a lot of disconnections between what Mudrex was doing and Binance. We saw that trades, people could not close some trades. The platform was not reacting, or we had some trades open in Binance and closed in Mudrex. There was a little bit of chaos and panic because the market was going down. When the market is going up, something is left open, nobody is complaining. But when the day goes down, they start asking what to do. What should I do now? And
Yeah.
yeah, what happened? Because I believe it was not only one or two cases. So
So, so I think one thing that I know happened was that we were doing that release, and during the time of the release, the UI was not responding clearly, and that was like a 2 hour window over which this happened. And because it was a major release, this typically happened one off. Then the second thing that happened was that in some cases the results were delayed. So actually orders were being placed, but they were not updated on your UI over here on Mudrex. Now, both these issues, we have found solutions for them and are testing those solutions in staging environment right now. And hopefully that should be released by this week as well. And that will improve reliability of the platform significantly, at least for these parameters.
okay, okay. There are some strategy doing really bad, and you know there are also investors who are really passive. They get Mudrex as a passive tool. They put the money there, which is supposed to be somehow.
Yeah.
They put the money there and they check at the end of the month. So it's
Yes.
and we are not telling them that they should look every day what is going on.
Yeah.
Even if I know that there are people in my group looking every hours what is happening there. But
Yeah.
let's say in the normal case, you put the money there and then you look at the results in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, in a month, and then you find out that the strategy was reaching from 10, you're talking about your score, to 4. My point is, why do you not stop them? Why you do not push the button, sending an email to everyone or to all the investors and say, guys, we have decided to stop the algo. With this, you are disinvested from today because it is not safe anymore.
So over there, the concern is, Vincenzo, that actually it might be that the strategy in general is good, but had a couple of bad trades that caused this sudden change. And that is typically a pointer back for us that we need to improve. How do we rate these algos? So just to give you an example, there was our top returns strategy, right? That VET, which was on which no one could invest. That went from like a 7 score to a score of 4, and went from I think 2,500% return to 1,200% return, right? So over there, if you think of it, 2000 from it went from 2,500 to 1,200. What actually happened that it had two large losing trades, where it lost 25% in those. Given that the strategy is risky, it actually didn't do abnormally bad as compared to what it was advised to do. Right? But I'll tell you the problem. The problem is that this risk was not apparent. And the reason why that risk was not apparent was because these sudden movements had not happened in the past. So as a result, what we would now want to do is, and this is another thing that a lot of hedge funds have, is that they have something called as a, a risk test, which essentially simulates data, and on the basis of simulated data, tries to see if let's say there are different scenarios that come up. Let's say there is a sudden crash. So how does the strategy perform in the sudden crash? There is a sudden uprun. How does the strategy perform in a sudden uprun? And we want to now incorporate that into our scoring system. So yeah, for example, something like this that happened with LTC, that can be detected earlier. And instead of post hoc telling people to remove, when the strategy get published, at that point only we can tell the creator that, look, you don't have these checks covered. You should go ahead and cover this in your strategy and then come back.
Yeah, but I'm sure that this is easy to implement, and this will happen when you have to approve new strategies.
Yeah.
But on the ones which are already public, look at this one. It's easy to do. Look, this is returns. 1 month ordered bottom top, and then you take the first one. It's not prepared, Edul. I'm just doing it now.
Yeah.
30 investors. This has 4 score, and this switched from 500, 600 to a bottom of 70. You know what does it mean? These 30 guys, these poor guys, they lost all money. And it's not difficult, Edu. It's something that you should think about. Let's think about later the why, but let's fix the what to prevent, let's say, bad stories. So, you should have something that one day before it goes. I mean, I can understand maybe you not stop it here, maybe here, but here we have already lose more than 50%. You should put it on a let's say, yeah, exactly, on a pause, or kicked out the 30 guys from the investments and sending to them an email telling that you are protecting them. And I'm sure they will appreciate it, because nobody will be pissed off when somebody say, I removed your money from an investment you had because we are not understanding what is going on. It lose too much. And then this is the first move. The second one will be to understand what to do with this algo, but at least we are protecting your capital. Because once they get minus 50, to gain back the minus 50, you have to do plus 100.
Yeah, and you can see that happened, right? So for example, it went from 76 to 46, which is like a 50% gain, but it will have to do that 5 times to go back to 500.
Exactly. And this is tough. This is tough to digest. And people who are not so careful about their things, they find out this. I mean, this is happening 27. Then tomorrow, a guy, end of the month, is finding out this jump in his portfolio, one of these 30 guys. And this is I don't need to trust the trader. I need to trust Mudrex. Because if I have to look at the trader, I can find 1,000 different solutions. I can copy trade live traders, discretional traders, everywhere in the world. But if I lose the trust in Mudrex, I exit the platform.
Got it. So I think on that note, we've already added pause. We are right now testing it in staging. On Monday, Tuesday, it will be live on the platform, where you can pause it manually and the creator can pause it manually. And I think what you're saying is right, Vincenzo. We need to come up with some rules to figure out whether we should pause some algos at our end or not, to avoid any sudden crashes or sudden movements until recovery happens.
Yeah.
What would you suggest we keep as rules to pause? Is it just a loss in value? Should it be a number of continuous losing streaks? How should, and when do we unpause it again? Any suggestions? Because this is like an open problem. I actually don't have an answer for this.
Yeah, it's if I'm applying my trading plan, and I do trade SP500, my trading plan, I stop trading when 2 things happened. A sequence of stop, which I never had in the past or in the recent time, and doesn't matter how much I'm losing, but the sequence of stop is telling to me that I'm trying to go in the wrong direction.
Got it.
So I stop it. I do not trade for 1 or 2 days. I try to analyze back the market, and I try to understand if it was a bad luck, it was a bad situation, but my technical skills are still there. My age it was there anyhow, and then I go ahead. And the second one is, it's about money management. If I lose too much in a short time, and I know that for recovering this percentage, I need months, I need to prevent that this happen. So if I lose in a day or in a week more than 10 to 15% of my capital, my net capital, I have a red light somewhere, because this is becoming too much. And if you put these two things together, you can filter a lot. You can make sure that whatever is going to happen in the next future will be revised, will be reanalyzed, and making sure that to make sure that it's also sometimes with the problems of the automatic trading is there is no humans behind. And we always say we want to automate the trading to avoid the emotions. But sometimes the emotions and humans' behavior are much more important than the automatic trading. If, as a human, if I'm afraid of losing my money, I stop doing trading. I see something wrong, first stop, first entry, stop, second entry, stop, third entry, stop. Then I stop doing trading. I switch off everything. I go away. I go for playing golf or whatever. And then one day later, I have for sure a clear picture. The problem of the algos is anytime the signal is there, they try to enter the market. There is no way to stop it. There is no way to let the algo to rethink about what happened in the last three trades which failed. And you as owner of the system, you should make sure that this is not happening.
No, got it. I think both the ideas, what can immediately come to mind is that we can create certain rules like what you said. And if these rules get triggered, we pause it and then we send a message to the creator saying that we have paused the algo. You should go back and reevaluate. And when you think it's the right time, you should re-enable. That might be a simple way to solve this problem. And we can also send it out to the users and tell them that if you think we've unnecessarily paused it, you can re-enable if you want.
The other thing, talking with Simone, you know Simone, Bitcoin Shelter.
Yeah.
We talk every week about that. The other thing is they cannot pause. It looks like they not pause the algo, right? The trader
right now they cannot, but from Monday Tuesday they will be able to.
Okay, because if I know the weaknesses of my algo. If I put an algo on public, and I know that in certain kind of conditions the algo is not working, I could decide to pause it. No? Without inviting the trader or without inviting the investors to disinvest, just creating a safety net, which is creating awareness on the investors that it's not true that the algo is always earning money. And second, it gives the feeling to the investors that
there is someone looking.
Yeah, exactly. There is somebody looking at the money, thinking about how to protect the capital. Because, you lose the interest. What I like in Mudrex is you can compound up and down. You can scale up and you can scale down. Right? This is a huge advantage. But there is the other side of the coin. When you start losing, you lose everything. If you lose the interest and you lose also the capital. And this is the other side. The alternative is to withdraw the interest and leaving the capital there. And then when you are risk-free, because you have withdrawn already what you have invested, psychologically, you have a different approach. But in Mudrex, the advantage of compounding after each single trade, this is a huge advantage. It becomes, a knife falling in the hands, and this is making blood everywhere.
I know,
because you will never have, let's say, the interest withdrawn, and we need to think about how to protect them.
Yeah. Do you think it is a good idea to have that as an optional feature, that you can remove your profits after it reaches a certain level automatically?
I'm not the guy. I'm not. I believe that to do money, the real money, big money, you need to compound.
I agree.
Every single cent. It's months. I'm not withdrawing money, but I have another job. I have my salary. I can live with it, so I really don't care. So I take every single dollar or cents of dollar, I leave it in the platforms because I like to compound. But there are people who are not so lucky, or they have a different plan in their life, and they want to integrate their income, their monthly income, and they could be interested in withdrawing, the interest. Some formula like how do you want to compound, 100% or 50% or 30%? I think this would be a nice option.
Got it. Got it. Vincenzo, please share the recording with me as well. A lot of things that we've discussed, I want to give to my product team so that they can start building or at least thinking about these features.
Yeah. And last thing, then I leave you. If we need to do something else for you to make sure that Mudrex can succeed protecting Mudrex itself and the investors, let's create a team. Let's have a regular discussions. Let's
absolutely
something more, or let's do, let's do whatever we can do to protect the whole box, the investors, the traders, and you guys with your ideas.
Absolutely. So I think we've had 2 community calls that have gone pretty well, actually. From the next community call, I would want to extend and start having conversations like this as well, so that we can discuss what all features are useful from a risk management perspective, what might help building out a better product for investors, and that conversation might be really valuable.
Yeah, I saw the invitation and thank you for that, but I could not participate to these 2 calls because they were happening
maybe next time we, instead of doing it with everyone, do it with a selected set of just creators. So get, let's say, all 8-10 different algo creators together, and then you can be there, and then a few other people who are doing dynamic portfolio allocation can be there, and we can discuss in detail how do we solve these problems.
No problem. Happy to support.
Thanks a lot. Vincenzo, please share the recording. I would love to discuss this with the team.
Sure. I will do that.
Okay. All right.
Thank you very much.
I'll hop off now.
Bye.
Bye.